Good morning. I suppose there are some of you that are waiting to hear my interview this morning. I did post and advertise that I was going to be talking with my daughter Rachel this morning and interviewing her. Thank you all for joining us. It's great to have you jumping on. I'm Gail Anderson, and this is Mentoring Moments for Moms. Now, I hate to disappoint you, but I got a call this morning from my daughter Rachel, and she has food poisoning. So we have delayed my interview with her to Saturday. I know some of you probably don't want to be jumping on Periscope on Saturday, but we will try and do it then. I need to give her some time to actually recoup. She's still in the middle of being sick. So I sent over all my oils and things. And actually the neatest thing, hi Saliji, good morning. Actually one of the neatest things is, since I had several things going on this morning, my husband packed up all his work stuff and went over to her house this morning. So she's laying on the bathroom floor and he's going to be over there taking care of her. We have always called him the doc of the family. He's wonderful at that. So just a cool thing that he did that. Anyway, today we're going to talk about your expectations in marriage and how to handle those. I had some requests for this a few weeks ago when we talked about just speaking good words over your husband. So today we're going to talk about how to handle those expectations that you have. Now, shoot me some of your answers. What are the expectations that you have of your husband in marriage? And I'm talking just basic expectations. We're not talking over the top stuff. Liquid silver will get rid of food poisoning. Woo! Thank you so much, Anna. Appreciate that. I hear you're pretty hot down in Florida today and humid. One of my biggest expectations of my husband, since I am a doer, is I expected him to be a doer and help me with things around the house. So especially in the beginning of our marriage, when we were both working, I expected he would do his dishes and load them in the dishwasher just like I would. I mean, I expected to prepare the meal, but I just expected some of his help along the way. Any other expectations you have? Do you expect certain things in the way of gifts? Do you expect him to take care of the cars or make sure your car is always clean and filled up with gas? Do you expect him to automatically repair anything that goes wrong without you having to say something? I found that my biggest problem was not telling my husband when I needed his help. I felt like if I asked for it, then it wasn't worth anything. I expect him to handle the trash, always. I don't do trash. Adorable, I like that hashtag. Yes, so we have these expectations. We have these. I'd like him to be sweet and romantic. Exactly, Sydney. These are things that we expect going into a marriage. And you know what? Our husbands may be that way before marriage, and they may continue to be that way, but they may not either. And in addition to that, why do I have to ask? Because they don't know. It's hard when you ask and it still doesn't happen. That, yes, you have to make that a matter of prayer. Then it's not special anymore when you ask. Saliji, that is my point exactly. Notice everything that I need be done. But you know what? Your husband is at the office. He sees things that need to be done there. When he comes home, he is oblivious. So I like to compare this to, tell me if and when he needs my help. Yes, so if we expect him to tell us when he needs help, we have to do the same and tell him when we need help. What I compare this to is expecting him to do things that he was not aware of was like holding a debt over his head that he didn't even have the resources to pay. If he didn't even know it was a need, if he didn't even know it was an expectation, then it's expecting something out of him that he has no idea about and just can't do. So asking him helps us to be honest with what those expectations are, to be able to tell him what we need, expecting him to ask immediately when I ask for his help. Saliji, how can he not know? You're right. They are oblivious. They get in their zone. Have you ever heard about how guys have everything in little boxes? And when they're in one box, they can't see or determine what's in the other box. They can just walk through. They may even expect the house to be cleaned up, but not realize, hey, I could help. So if you like what we're talking about today, tap on the screen, give me some hearts, share it with your friends, swipe to the right, and you can do that. But our expectations, ladies, we somehow have to change a little bit. When we have these expectations, when we're holding these things over their heads, then what happens is we actually get angry when those things aren't done. Now, if we can change and drop those expectations, drop those standards, then we won't be angry, but we'll be happy if all of a sudden they do them. And that's the same with them. When they walk into our home and they expect the house is going to be all picked up, if that's their expectation, it's going to make them angry if it's anything less when they walk in the door. But if they lower their expectations and try not, yes, I had to adjust expectations and realize he expected me to communicate rather than assume he knew. And you know what, gals? I will tell you, I'm still doing that. After 37 years of marriage, I'm still not wanting to come out and tell my husband. I'm better about it, but I am not the best at it. I still need to come out and tell him those things. So if we lower our expectations and quit expecting things, then when he does those things, we can be overwhelmingly grateful and let him know how grateful we are, which then again will continue what he is doing. He will continue what he's doing when we praise him and when we are so happy that he's done something. So these are things that really we have to change on our own. So just a couple hints I want to give you in your expectations is quit looking at other people. I think sometimes when we hear from our girlfriends that their husbands do this, or we see their car is always immaculate and they mention that their husband's doing it, some things are just not worth losing your joy over. Yes, and holding a grudge about. Very, very true. So if we're seeing other husbands that do this and we are then expecting our husband, that is wrong. We have to be able to celebrate with our friends when their husbands are doing certain things, but we have to appreciate the things that our husbands are doing because their husbands probably aren't. They are good at one thing. Yes, other husbands seem perfect. We don't see the inside. That's right. And our husband seems perfect to our friends. So remember that. So don't compare him to other people. And when you get those thoughts, we talked about this when we were talking about talking well about our husbands, throw them out. Quit thinking them, replace them with good thoughts. Another thing that helps me is to count my blessings. If I can start out the day thinking of 3 things that I really appreciate and am thankful about in my husband, and if I continually think on those things, maybe even write them down. No husband is perfect, just like no wife is perfect. Amen. That is very true. So if I can concentrate on these 3 positive things and even look for opportunities to compliment my husband on them, to tell him how much I appreciate it, that's going to change him. If he sees how much we appreciate it, that's going to help him to be more aware. Now, the worst thing that I would do is, well, thank you for finally taking out the trash. That doesn't do it, ladies. That says I still had the expectation, he didn't meet it, and I'm disappointed, and it does not bless him to hear that. So if you really want to change him, the only thing you can do is quit expecting things and appreciate the good things. Appreciate every approximation toward what you would like. Other than that, only God can change him. So you've got to change your attitude toward that. Now in the YouTube, when I post this on YouTube, which will be shortly after I get done with the scope today, I will also give a link in the description for a folder with a couple of different confessions, prayers, whatever you can make about your husband. And I think that's very helpful. Good. I think we all need it. And you know what? The teacher learns twice. So this is very good for me. Now, I don't see that my husband's on today. He's probably still taking care of Rachel. But I know he'll be blessed if he does go back and actually watch this. So I do want to mention also, though, that there is a timing issue if you do feel like there's something you need to talk to your husband about. In other words, if you have an irreconcilable issue, something you really, really feel like it would be best if I just let him know because I'm not able to get rid of this, I'm not able to throw out this expectation. So you watch for timing, make sure you're not having issues with other things, make sure that you've prayed and you're prepared to talk to him in a nice way instead of it coming out in anger all at once. And more than anything, use iMessages. This is something I'm always working on. The more you invest in him, the more likely he will in you, but cover it all with prayer. Excellent. Thank you so much for sharing that. Okay, so with iMessages, honey, I know it doesn't mean, I shouldn't say that. I know it does not seem like a big deal to you when you leave your clothes on the floor, but somehow it's making me feel like I'm your maid. And I know it's my problem. I know I need to do better at it. I know I need to just pick it up. But while I'm going through this, while I'm trying to change your attitude, could you help me by just trying to get your clothes to the laundry basket? It would mean so much to me. So the whole attitude in that is, it's my problem and I need your help. I'm asking for you to be my knight in shining armor and to rescue me and help me. And you know what? He will probably rise to it when you mention that. And he will see that it's something that bothers you and a way that he can help and be a blessing. So basically, that's all I want to mention today. Yes, I will have to listen to this again myself so that I can make sure I'm doing this even after my 37 years of marriage. Again, I'm really sorry Rachel was not able to be here, but food poisoning is nothing to sneeze at. I'm praying for her to get over this quickly, and hopefully Saturday, sometime, probably not in the morning though, because I have other commitments in the morning, I'll be able to get on with her and interview her. I'm looking forward to that. If you're in the Tulsa area, I'm speaking tonight at the Moms Group at Church on the Move South Campus. There will be a group of ladies out there. It's from 6:30 to 8, and their South Campus is at the Glenpool Convention Center. So if you'd like to join us, join us. I'll be speaking, we'll have discussion, and I love connecting with all of you. So if you're in the area, hey, come meet me. Let's see, links in Periscope. There are links there for our weekly blog, which we blog 3 times a week, but that's KirbyAnderson.com. There's a link to my YouTube channel if you want to see all the past scopes that I've done. And my email is also in there. Love to hear from you, hear what you'd like to hear more about. If there's any links that you missed that I can connect you with, be happy to do that. So be a blessing to somebody today, and again, enjoy the adventure of being a mom. See you later.